You have an event, the weather is poor, right? Should you go or should you not go? And if you do go, how do you even make money from this event? Let's talk about it. This is Mike, the Caesar of concessions. All right. Well, look at me. I got the stocking cap on, the old hoodie. We had an event on our mobile side this weekend, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today is Saturday, so you're seeing this video. And if you look at the thumbnail on the video, 37 degrees and raining. And it's been that way pretty much all weekend long. Did we go? Yeah, and we'll talk about that. Should you go to an event if the weather is poor? Well, there's no yes, you should go, no, you shouldn't go. There's some things that have to be analyzed first. Number one, did you pay for it? How much inventory do you have, right? These are things that have to be considered when going to an event. Number two, what about your equipment? What if it's just pouring rain the whole time? Is your equipment going to get damaged? Is that replacing that equipment? Is that going to cost you more than whatever vendor fee you paid, right? These are things you got to consider. Another thing we really need to consider is the actual weather. Now, when we say bad weather, how bad is bad? Is it like pouring rain the whole time, no breaks, for people to come out and do whatever? I mean, if it's really pouring here in Kansas City, no one's going out. It's not happening. You might as well not go in that case. However, it's like today, it's cold, but it's just drizzly, it's miserable, but it's not like horrible. There's some opportunities there, okay? So that kind of, should you go, should you not go, really depends on the weather and your money factor as far as what you paid or whatever. Okay, next. Is there opportunity available at the event even though you have poor weather? What I mean by opportunity, number one, can you try to make contacts with other vendors, not just food vendors, but like clothing vendors, whatever? Can we try to get some opportunity out of that? Also, if you had to do catering or, renting out your equipment or any of the other things I've talked about to make extra money on the side, you can advertise for that, right? Advertising never sleeps. So you can do that. And there's still possible opportunity there. Another way that opportunity could present itself to you is through the actual coordinator of the event, right? They see what kind of person you are by coming to this event and doing it. Maybe they like you a lot for that. And maybe you will get more opportunities because you went to this event. All right, next, before I continue on with this wonderful video, I have a membership program. It's $2 a month, guys. You get workshops, mentorship, and exclusive content from me. We do our workshops in a Discord. We're doing about twice a month. It's absolutely amazing to see all the vendors come together and all of us talking about our business. It's an open forum and just a great way to learn, not just from me, but other vendors. Check it out. $2 a month. Link will be in the description. Next, most vendors won't go. That's just it. I mean, some will back out if there's a chance of rain. I've seen it, so many times that guys and gals are afraid of the weather. In this business, if you're going to be successful, you cannot be afraid of the weather. Whether it's really hot, cold, rainy, whatever, we're there, right? Our company is there. Like I said, this whole weekend it's been drizzling, 37 degrees, raining. It's just been awful conditions. Yet, we are there. Well, there's several reasons. One, we paid for it. Number two, we've been a stalwart at this particular event for like 10 years, right? So we were not missing it regardless. As long as it was open, we were going to be there. Most vendors won't be there. This video is brought to you by kettlecornmachine.com. Check them out for all your kettle corn and lemonade vending equipment. They have the best kettle corn and lemonade equipment in the market. If they didn't, I wouldn't be advertising for them. Check them out, kettlecornmachine.com. You can control inventory before you go to try to cut losses and to try to sell out as soon as possible, maybe even get out of there, right? It just depends on your setup, how it works out with your coordinator, et cetera, et cetera. But if the weather conditions are horrible, you're probably going to sell less. So with that being said, control your inventory, bring the inventory down, the numbers, so you don't have waste or as much as waste. Maybe even trim your employees if you have them, right? Keep costs low and go in there with zero expectation. Next, be prepared for a quick getaway. What I mean by that is, we've done so many of these events in trash weather. We are packing up essentially as soon as we get there. It sounds weird, but hear me out. We, get everything ready. We're ready to sell. We don't just unpack everything. If we need it, we'll grab it. But other than that, we are equipped for a quick getaway, so we don't have to spend any more time there because time is valuable. And if it's cold and rainy and windy, you want to get out of there. You don't want to get sick. So maybe throughout the course of the day, as it's getting slower and slower and the event's coming to an end, start packing up early and just maybe have some few essentials. We've done this before where all we have is our chip racks out there and our candy racks. Everything else is put up in the trailer, and we're just selling this until the event closes. We make a few bucks, okay. If we don't, we don't. But we're there. We got product to sell. We're equipped for a quick getaway. Okay, next. It's not always about the money. I know. It's always about the money. Well, no. Sometimes not making money at an event can make you more money in the future. What I mean by this is, like we talked a little bit earlier about opportunity, right? Is there opportunity available? If no one else is there, right, or hardly any vendors come, yet you show up, that shows a coordinator and other people there what kind of work ethic you have. There's a sense of pride in it. There's a sense of toughness, I feel, of doing events when it's really hot and really cold and miserable, because most people won't go through that. So it's more than money. Sometimes it's about personal pride and going out there and competing in the elements to fight for your money and fight for your mortgage payment, right? Next, it is possible, and this has happened to us on many occasions, that there's supposed to be other similar vendors there. The weather was supposed to be poor or was poor. They didn't even show up, period. They didn't even come to their spot. Their spot was vacant. I had 100% market share. Eventually, weird things happen with the weather clears, or the event's way bigger, even with poor weather, and people still come out, which has happened. And we have 100% market share. Some of our better events, honestly, like dollar-wise, have been at situations like this where the weather's horrible and no one else showed up but us, but a lot of people came and we just absolutely crushed it. Often, well, I want to say oftentimes, but sometimes this can happen to you. So, maybe it's best to go. Next, at the end of the day, after it's all said and done and we talked about everything on this list, honestly, it comes down to risk and reward. How much is the risk to go do this event? Is your equipment going to be jacked up? Is the vendor fee high? What is the reward? Sometimes it just comes down to that, the risk versus reward, and you got to make a game time decision. Now, here's the mental side of this. When you make a game time decision to go or not go, stick with it, and you made that decision for a reason, okay? Don't let the mental side get you down. You made your decision, stick with it, and live with it, and learn from it, right or wrong. Hope you enjoyed the content. This is Mike. Caesar, concessions, out.